covering in detail some of the extraordinary things that are going on under the surface through the British public sector, through the police, through child protection. And these are matters which she feels, and we certainly feel, that the British public needs to be aware of. Carol, thank you very much for joining us. So where do we start? Your story really goes back to about 2000.
Yes, yes, it
and
does.
you were working as a senior social worker with Lancashire County Council. And you started to see things happening around child protection,
Yes,
and
yes.
in particular the records of children.
Yes.
What did you see?
Well, within 6 weeks of taking up the post in January 2000, I could see records that were appearing that somehow seemed to come from thin air. And given that they were my clients, I was the assigned caseworker. I puzzled over where these records had come from without my knowledge. Prior to January 2000 and taking up that post, I had worked for Preston Social Services in the past. Absolutely no complaints, everybody extremely professional, clients got a good service, social workers were happy. But that was approximately 1989. Since then there had been massive changes. Lancashire was on special measures, and they were on special measures for years. And they only managed a 1-star rating after the special measures ceased, the status ceased. Now, in September 2000, I was the assigned social worker on a highly contentious case of baby LF. The mother of baby LF was a vulnerable young woman. She'd been brought up in care. She had no real support at all. And we went to court, and they lost their attempt to get an order to say the child had to be put into care or removed for any reason or anything of a detriment to the family.
Right, and the they is Lancashire Children's Services.
Yes, yes. Young mother was pleased with the result. Shortly after that, a legal rep came to see me in the office, Judy Deering. Now, Judy Deering worked in Lancashire Legal Department, but oddly, I couldn't find her name as a registered solicitor in the law book of the time. Judy Deering was very upset about Jane Gladstone's handling of the case and said to me, well, we want an order. Katrina wants an order. Now, the Katrina she referred to had been a manager in our office, Katrina Pennington, but she said, Katrina wants an order. And I said, Katrina can't have an order. She doesn't even work for us. It's nothing to do with Katrina. Judy Deering asked me to alter the information on the child's file, as her exact words were, more in favour of the local authority. I flatly refused to do it. She was extremely annoyed. I asked for some management support. I said, we cannot start altering children's files. I said, this is perjury in a court of law. They tried to pursue the case through the Blackburn Family Division High Court. And it went on and it went on and it went on. The young mother, imagine, she has no support, she has no friends, no family. What the stress was putting her through.
So just moving on a little bit here.
Yes.
So essentially records are altered to achieve what aim? The child's taken away?
Yes. Now then,
right.
I was under the impression that that child was what I called an ordered baby. That to me meant that she's a vulnerable young woman. We can take her child off her because we know somebody who is probably more suitable, a real couple who want a baby and they can't have one, so we'll provide them with one.
Right.
That is what I was certain was going on.
And you're mentioning this now. My mind is saying to me, and we over the last 3 years have been hearing similar stories from parents who are saying that their children were taken away under false pretenses. And the implication is that those children are being taken to order, as you say.
Undoubtedly, undoubtedly.
So was that, excuse me, was that the only case that you dealt with? You had 39, I think it was, serious cases to deal with. Was that the only case where you suspected this was happening, or were there just other cases?
Well, in relation to taking the baby, the baby LF case was becoming quite widely known throughout other offices within Lancashire, and review chairs of case conferences were expressing very concern about what Lancashire were doing to this young woman and this baby. What I do know as a fact is that children's files were being altered. Now, they were what I could prove was altered in the data, the recordings, crucial documents missing from the files, and I actually reported that formally to what was the Social Services Inspectorate. I took it to Chris Cheetham, who was the Cabinet Minister on the Social Services Committee. I took it everywhere I could. And nobody responded.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Right. So we've got one of the most critical subjects, which is child protection.
Yes.
You are pointing out serious wrongdoing, and then your experience of dealing with the authorities who should be protecting the system and protecting the children, as they don't want to know.
No, I mean, the issue was, it's not just the altering of the file, it is the altering of the file to show the detriments suffered by the children, by the authorities.
Yes.
So it's not just the altering of the file, well, we don't like that, so we'll remove it. I'm talking about removing crucial documents that prove serious detriments suffered by the families from the authorities, not from the families, from the authorities.
Right. And then that doctored material, those lies are taken into court and used, which is perjury.
Yes, they are. Yes.